Hi everyone, good evening. So, kumusta? Kumusta? I think majority sa atin is trader naman na. Can I see kung sino sa inyo yung mga yung mga currently trading sa Forex? Can you type 1 sa chat box natin? Can you type 1 sa mga Forex trader as of now before natin introduce itong futures? Hello? Are you there, guys? Can you hear me? Can you hear me ba? Pa-type ng 1 if naririnig nyo ako. Let me double check my mic. Ayun, okay na, mukhang okay naman. Oh, okay. So may nagsabi sa akin hindi daw maka-type sa chat box. I'm not sure why. Let me double check. Wait lang. Hindi daw maka-type eh. Wait lang before tayo mag-start. I think I need to change the permission doon sa chat box. Wait lang. Sorry for that. Kaya pala walang nag-engage. Pero ayun, okay lang ba kayo? Kumusta yung nyo, yung mga trades nyo this week? Maganda yung natin this week, price action. Wait lang, I'm changing the permission. I'm trying to find saan. Wait lang I can't find pa. Ayun, nakita ko na yung everyone. Ayun, naka-off pala. Ayan, patry. Ayan, mukhang okay na. Yun, okay. Yun, buti na lang nahanap ko. Kumusta? Kumusta? Ayan. Alright, alright. Kumusta kayo? Kumusta yung mga trades nyo this week? Kumusta yung mga trades nyo? Good evening. Full screen ko lang to Yan. Okay. So, I think almost everyone naman na nandito is may idea na sa trading. And then, gusto ko sanang malaman sino sa inyo yung current na nagtitrade sa Forex before natin introduce itong futures trading sa prop firm natin. Okay. Type 2 pala sa mga nagtitrade na Forex currently. Okay, okay. May tatlo na dito. 4, 5, 6. Yan. How about, meron na bang mga familiar sa inyo sa futures? Maybe, yung iba nagtitrade na ng index futures. Or yung iba nagtitrade na rin naman ng Nasdaq or S&P 500 ng index sa Forex platforms, right? Right. NQNES, yun yung pinaka the best actually i-trade sa futures prop firm. But we're not limited on those pairs naman. We can also trade yung gold futures and currency futures like euro futures and pound futures. Yung mga yan. Pwede natin i-trade sa futures prop firm yan. Yeah, right. 6E. Okay. Alright, sige. Start na siguro tayo. I would like to introduce yung guest speaker natin for tonight, Sir Anthony Dominic Marasigan. He is from Apex Trader Funding. Siya yung ano natin, if meron kayong questions at the end of the session, we can ask questions about sa mga rules, including yung anything about Apex Trader Funding sa futures prop firm. Okay? Hello, Sir Anthony. Are you able to ano na po speak na rin dito sa ano natin? Alright. Yeah. Okay. Yes po, rinig po.
Yun. Ako si Dominic Marasigan. I'm working with Apex Trader Funding dito sa Pilipinas. So I represent Apex Trader Funding here in the Philippines. So, ano ba ang gagawin ko dito? Introduce yung anong e-mini features ba? Sir,
Yes po, sir. More of a index futures, e-mini futures, and micro futures po.
pero in futures in general, kailangan
Yep.
ba yan? Or, kasi most of the traders here, puro mga forex na may experience yung titrade ngayon, di ba?
Yes po, sir. Actually, me myself, I'm trading Euro futures sa Apex. Yeah.
So, by 6B,
6E. 6E for Euro. Yeah.
and 6B is for the pound, di ba?
Right po. Right, sir.
Okay. So, what I'm gonna do is give a brief introduction on futures. Pwede ako na parang,
Mag-share ng screen po.
I have, yeah.
I think yes po. Well, may feature na po pa na ano, share dyan sa,
Wait, sana yan. Let me get my presentation here muna.
let me remove my ano po, stream right now.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna finish one slide dito kasi when you were putting it on, I was putting a different, amend ko isang slide dito sa nila. So, I think,
I think third button po siya dapat, sir, dun sa ano, share your screen.
oh,
Sa
just
baba.
wait. I'm just waiting. I'm just editing my yung presentation to now.
Okay po.
Let me see here. Okay, okay, sige, ito yun. Save. Okay, one more slide dito. Insert. Okay, let's begin. Let me put this on, let me share the screen. Wait, let me put this on show here. So, yeah. Share screen. Okay. Nakikita mo yung screen ko?
Yes po, we can see it now.
Okay, thank you. So again, my name is Dominic Marasigan. This is about Apex Trader Funding. And those of you dito, if you can show the raise of hands. Sino ba dito na familiar with e-mini futures? Sino ba dito?
Everyone, pa-type ng 1 sa mga familiar.
one, kung currently trading futures. Number two, familiar with futures. Wala. Ay, ito, okay, one, one. Oh, okay. You guys are currently trading futures or yun ba yun? So one? So you're quite familiar. Okay. Crypto lang po. Is, sa mga iba, merong ano, may at least know what futures are. Okay. Yeah, okay, good. Good, good. So there's that. Marami. Okay, so let's go into this. This is about what futures are about. So what I'm going to be doing is introducing what this is. So before we go on, here's a risk disclosure. So any amount of money that you may invest, you can most likely lose all the money, di ba? Yun ang mga type of risk sa any investment. It can be real estate, it can be kahit ano. Basta if you step out of the house, may risk ka rin. Any type of trading or investing, there's a possibility that you may lose all your money. Okay? But at the same time, you can also make money. I just had to put that there. So, ano ba ibig sabihin ng futures trading? So, futures trading, in definition, is the act of buying of and selling futures. These are financial instruments in which two parties, one buyer and one seller, agree to exchange an underlying market force, fixed price, and a future date. So, we get you a definition, right? Futures give the buyer the obligation to buy the underlying market. So, when they talk about dito, it's really about, in general, kasi na umpisa ng futures, they were talking about commodities, right? So, commodities like, rice, commodities, pork bellies, yun ang mga commodities, right? What about, gold? Kasi you can buy gold and you can also buy, iba, my airline, jet fuel. So, lahat yun mga commodities. Then after that, they started putting in what we call the stock indices or even what we call the currency futures. So you can actually trade futures the currencies, but you don't buy the spot currency. You're just basically speculating on the fluctuation of the price. Okay. So buying versus selling. Traders go long when you buy contracts when they believe the asset will rise at their buy position. Ito yung mga dito, forex. So you guys are mostly forex traders. Bibili ka, you're going to enter a buy position kung speculation mo tataas yung currency pair, yung price ng currency pair, right? You don't actually buy the currency, you actually just speculate on the price. Kung tataas or bababa. Kung bababa, syempre, you're going to be selling, you're going to be having a sell position. So the asset classes that we trade in futures are, again, we have the equities, which is the stock indices. That's what this is, right? And you have energy. Most popular there is crude oil. Metals, most popular there is gold and silver. Agricultural, we don't really get into that. But there are some people who trade agriculture, but I'll get into that. And also cryptocurrencies. You can actually trade cryptocurrency, but you're not buying the cryptocurrency physically. Again, you're speculating on the price. So you can actually trade Bitcoin futures. What else do they have? They have the micro Ether, and Ethereum, and the micro Bitcoin. And I think that now, since what happened was NinjaTrader, which is one of our major trading platforms, was bought out by Kraken exchange. So now what's going to happen now, I think Apex will be opening it up to trading crypto as well. So I got to find that out kasi alam ko, yung NinjaTrader got bought out by Kraken. Yun ang bagong balita. So I don't know what they're going to be transitioning, but they'll leaving the name NinjaTrader as it is right now. So mga iba dito, cryptocurrencies, FX, which is basically what I guess I mentioned before. It's currency futures. That's what it's called. That's usually based on the spot forex, right? It's not the pairs. It's the currency itself. Like for example, if you want, most of you are trading the let's say the euro is 6E. You basically currency. It's not a pair. It's basically the spot pair. It's spot currency. That's what it is. Ano pa but dito, here are the popular indices. A lot of mostly trade Nasdaq, but there's more volume in trading micro Nasdaq as well as micro ES. I'll get into that later. There's crude oil, like I said, and gold. These are all the popular classes, right? So the instruments can be traded with either a E-mini or a micro. Now the micro is usually 1/10 the price of the regular E-mini. Okay. So like it says here, the tick size for example, a regular E-mini S&P 500 is a 0.25, which in turn is worth $12.50. Again, I'll explain this more detail later. 1 point move is 4 ticks, so that's 1 point equals $50. So 1 point move is $50. Whereas in the micro, it's basically 1/10 the size. So 1 tick equals 1.25 and 1 point equals $5. Whereas Nasdaq, it's basically the E-mini is worth $5 per tick, or for 1 point, it's $20 as compared to $50, which is the ES. For the micro NQ, it's basically 1/10, right? Again, so it's 50 cents per tick or $2 per point, as compared to the regular E-mini Nasdaq, it would be $20. Okay. The tick size and value of the various instruments can be viewed in the CME website. And they have new contract rollovers. The indices that we trade, they wrote the expiration of the contract expires every quarter. So even mean it expires by, let's say, this year expired January, March, then after that June. So currently what we're trading now is the September contract. September contract. It expires on the third Friday of this month, of the month of September. So then we're in what? We're I'm sorry. We're currently trading the June contract. So that's going to expire at the third week of June, the third Friday of June. So we're currently maybe one more month before that expires for the current contract that we're trading. What is futures trading? Futures contracts are used by two categories of market participants. One is a hedger and one is a speculator. I don't mean a hedger. So they are the ones who produce a commodity. It can be like a coffee bean farmer who basically what they do is provide their coffee beans, right? They're the ones who produce the coffee bean itself, the physical coffee bean. Whereas the purchasers are the ones who buy the coffee beans from them. For example, Starbucks or mga coffee houses, they buy the physical coffee bean. So those are the hedgers. Speculators are who trade the futures, right? The futures in the future market. They can trade either the index, and they do it through the CME. So what we do is speculate. What does that mean? We basically speculate on the price movement of an underlying asset. We speculate if the price is going to go up or if the price is going to go down. Again, like I said, here are the popular agriculture commodities that some traders in the U.S. trade: wheat, corn, soybeans, livestock, interest rate bonds. That's interesting because a lot of people make a lot of money trading the interest rate bonds. It can be a 5-year, 10-year, or 30-year. Energy futures, the most popular one is the crude oil. Metals, popular one, there's gold. Stock index futures, the most popular one that a lot of people are trading are S&P 500 or the Nasdaq, but the number one right now, I believe, is Nasdaq. Spot currency futures, like I said, these are the currency futures. You can either trade all the 26 major currencies, right? Euro, Japanese yen, British pound, Canadian dollar, US dollar, major currencies. It's not considered as currency pairs, it's just basically the spot currency. And futures were originally traded in what we call the pit in the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Before futures were not being traded electronically. It was physically being traded in what they call the pit. Now, most of you most likely do not know. I know it means to be in the pit. But here's the history. This basically closed down. They closed the pit down in, I believe, in 2015. Yeah, they closed it down in 2015, and now all the traders that trade futures are now doing it electronically rather than doing it here. So here's a brief introduction what the pit was. Even if you've never been to the famed trading pits, chances are you know what they look like and sound like. Featured in films like Trading Places and Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the trading pits at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange were loud and hectic. On July 6th, the futures pit in Chicago and New York were buying and selling sets the prices for commodities like gold, wheat, and corn. Wars one last time. The 167-year-old tradition of open outcry futures operations ends after the closing bell on Monday.
For example, if I'm trying to buy 25 at 4 1/4, I would be saying that and also doing the hand signals at the same time. And then the opposite person would be saying, okay, I'm selling you 25 at 4 1/4. And so then we'd understand that I was buying and they were selling.
So that's what it was. They communicated through their hand signals, right? Because there's so many people that they can't do it physically, so they would do it by hand signals. They would actually know what they're buying and they're selling. So this is a table. I don't know if you can read it. Medyo ano to, maliit yung print. Pero this is what the difference between futures, CFDs, and forex. So basically, here's the big difference: is basically the liquidity, right? In terms of trading on exchanges with high liquidity, while CFDs depend on liquidity of the broker, right? Whereas futures, it's basically traded in an exchange, centralized and decentralized. Since futures contracts have expiration dates and price is centralized, meaning parang stock markets dito sa Pilipinas, the Philippine Stock Exchange, the Philippine Stock Exchange is considered as centralized also. I mean, you can only buy Philippine stocks in the Philippine Stock Exchange, such as in futures, you can only buy or should I say, you can only trade futures in the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Yun lang, wala nang iba. Okay, that's what it means by being centralized. They're also futures are already highly regulated. They're regulated by 3 governing bodies. So talaga mahigpit, hindi pwede mag-manipulate ng price, hindi pwede ganon. Even they also manipulate the broker. So you cannot be a broker and a prop firm at the same time. Ganon na nangyari sa FTMO. That's why FTMO, which is a prop firm for forex traders, they got banned in the US. Bakit? Kasi they were both working as a broker and a prop firm. Hindi pwede yun kasi may conflict of interest. That's why naban ng FTMO sa states. Once they found out, the governing bodies, the CF, what is that? Commission of Futures Trading, CFTD. Once they found that out, they banned FTMO. Okay. Again, that's what I said about high. In terms of futures, very little to no spread in futures. Yeah, if you enter a trade, let's say you enter a trade by market entry rather than limit order, you do a market order instead. If you enter the market order, yung spread mo only 1 tick. It does not fluctuate. It's fixed at 1 tick. So there's there's not what we consider as negligible. Parang hindi sobrang malaki. It's very small in terms of the spread. It says here, no spread in futures contracts due because kasi to higher liquidity and strong regulations. That's why, compared to CFDs or Forex, where price can be more easily manipulated. Taking partials, so partials, there's something different. So what we do here in partials, what we do instead of trading a 1 E-mini, we can trade what we call the micros. You can trade 5 micros, 10 micros, any type of micros. That's more, you can manage risk that way. Okay, just like in Forex, you can trade either what? You have the mini lot, you have the micro lot, and you also have the the standard lot, yung nga ibig sabihin ng take ng partials. It says your CFDs often have a high leverage and all allow small size trades to close partials of a position with a lot more control. Whereas in futures, you have to close at least one full contract. One full contract of either a E-mini or one full contract of a micro. There, like it says here, lots and contracts. In CFD, it's common to use lots, right? Position be as small as a micro lot. But in futures, we always buy or sell in contracts, and the smallest amount is always one contract. Either one contract in E-mini or one contract in micros. That's the smallest amount. You can go as high depending on what you want to trade, but usually, if you get more than 10 micro contracts, you might as well just trade them one contract kasi medyo mataas yung commission ng micro contract. So instead of being able to buy parts of one contract like it happens with lots, a new instrument is created. In the case of NASDAQ, we have the micro NASDAQ, right? Being MEQ, the cheapest contract, and it's 1/10 of the size or the value of the NQ. Okay? So in CFDs, pips and pipettes are used, while in futures it's points and ticks. 1 pip equals 10 pipettes, but in futures ticks have different sizes depending on the instrument, not only the instrument but also the contract. If the tick size is 0.25, then 1 point is equals to 4 ticks. So here the comparisons, like for example, in CFDs, when you trade the stock index, the NASDAQ, it's called NAS 100. Whereas in futures it's considered NQ. For the instrument of S&P 500, the CFD's symbol is SP 500, while the futures symbol is ES. Same thing here. Euro dollar, the CFD's is Euro USD, futures 6E. The pound dollar, it's in Forex and CFD's is pound USD. In futures it's 6B. Okay. So basically, there's your value. You see the tick size, what the value is. On the regular ES is $12.50. On the micro ES is basically $1. It's basically 1/10 the size of that. So that's what you see there. Okay, so what is the S&P 500? I think most of you know what the S&P 500. Who here trades the S&P 500 or in CFDs? May I know? Do you guys trade the S&P 500 or do you guys trade NASDAQ? Anyone?
I think mostly here, sir, are trading NASDAQ. Majority of our, from our community,
Yeah, so that's what's the symbol? There's FCFD NSA 100, tama? Or it's ES, what was that? ES 100.
Actually, it varies on different brokers. Sometimes, and SP 500.
Okay, SP 500.
Ah.
Pero yung symbol ng NASDAQ sa ano?
NASDAQ. Sometimes, US 100, NAS 100, or US Tech. Yung mga yan po.
Tama. Kasi that's what I always see. I see the US 100 and sometimes they get I said, is that when they see what I'm trading and they see NASDAQ, is that CFD parang ano pareho? I said, no, kasi it depends on where their price, where they're getting their price. So minsan yung price sa CFD, it comes from the broker. It doesn't come from the exchange. Right? It comes from the broker. That's the only difference between CFDs and futures. Okay. So the S&P 500 is basically, if you guys don't know, it's basically the top 500 blue chip companies in the U.S. The top 500 largest publicly traded companies in the U.S. That's why it's really considered the best overall measure of the U.S. stock market and is used as a benchmark for traders. Okay, so that's what the 500, the S&P 500 is. Now here's a typical chart, right? So S&P 500 is the most widely traded stock index futures with over 2.2 million contracts being traded on an average day. Again, like I said, these are tick points here. I'm going to show you what the ticks are. So for example, on an ES, like it said here, one tick represents just one from 50 cents to 70. So that's basically 25 cents. Or 20 cents. Basically, that's one tick. So every move the price goes up, it's one tick. So every move here will be considered as what? $12.50 CES. So if you trade and you speculate the price will go up and you enter at 319 and you have a take profit at 320, magkano bang profit mo? That's only what? How many ticks is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Madali yan makuha. So that's 4 ticks that equals what? 1 point, which is equals to $50. So yung kita mo from an entry dito, so let's say you go long or you buy and you speculate it's going to go up and you have a take profit at 31.20, yung kita mo doon sa isang contract is $50. So basically, what is the leverage? The leverage there on Nasdaq is 50 to 1. Okay, and it's mabilis itong you go if you see the trading during the New York session, you can easily get that 1 point, easily make $50 in less than minsan hindi, less than 9 seconds. It goes so fast, or sometimes less than 5 minutes. Okay, so here in the Philippines, where you can get a job where you can make $50 in less than 5 minutes. Meron ba? I mean, when you guys see, I used to be a forex trader too for 3 years. I found out that the market moves a lot better in dito sa futures. So anyways, that's the ES dito sa sa Nasdaq. That's one of the things that I like trading because it's very volatile. So the Nasdaq 100, the Nasdaq is basically considered something like it says here the top 100 tech companies in the U.S. Now the tech companies here is also in the S&P 500, but dito sa Nasdaq it's purely all tech companies such as Apple, Alphabet, which was Google, Microsoft, Tesla, Facebook, which is now Meta, and Amazon and Nvidia. These are all the tech companies that's in Nasdaq, but they're also found in the S&P 500. So why do I trade Nasdaq? Why do you want to trade Nasdaq? Because it benefits the day traders, since basically what moves this is just all the 100 top tech companies, and that's only a little. That's small compared to 500, diba? So mas magaan mag-move ng price kasi it's only composed of 100 companies. There's a typical chart. Again, it's one of the most actively traded futures. The average daily volume sa micros on MNQ is over 1 million contracts. Ganun din. So again, the tick size again, and this is $20. For the micros, it's basically $2. So on the micros, the tick size for 1 point is equal to 50 cents. So 1 point equals $2. So 1 tick equals 50 cents. Again, that's here 1 tick. Let's see, go. Each tick here on a regular NQ would be what? It would be what did I say? $5, right? Pero dito sa MNQ, it would be 50 cents. So on MNQ, 1 point will equal $2, where in the NQ, it would equal $20. So we're already seeing by 1 point. So from here to 51, and it was 286.50 to 287.50 dito, that would be 1.1, 2, 3, 4 ticks. 4 ticks equals 1 point. That would be $20 on NQ, $2 on micros. Day trading. Sino dito, day trade ba kayo or mga swing trader ba lahat kayo?
I think majority, sir, we are scalpers and day traders. So, guys, pa chat nga sa chat box yung how do you trade. Ayan.
Okay. Day trade. Okay. Scalp. Yeah. Usually when you day trade, yung mga anong tinitrade mo ng when you day trade, you usually trade the pairs kasi I heard sometimes mahirap mag-trade ng
Actually, sir, okay lang. Let's say, for example, on my case, I do trade Euro futures during London session. So, usually within that session, tapos na yung trade. There are times na aabot siya ng New York, but it doesn't go beyond New York AM. So, majority. Tapos na before end of the day.
Yeah, I saw some of your posts, which I said, oh, he's trading the London session. Good. And usually when you trade that, I don't tend to trade most of the time London session euros or pound.
Either sa dalawa po. So, I'm using correlation between the two pairs. And then, I'm using the SMT divergence between. So, I'm choosing which one has a better price action.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, that Sir Carlos here trades that he takes advantage of, diversifying, so he can both trade the futures and the forex.
Right, right.
You can, in fact, you can actually hedge. Kasi iba ang instrument, pero pareho, almost the same movement, pero it's a different instrument. One is considered CFDs, the other is considered futures, where you can actually, do a hedge. Diba? Na-hedge mo ba? Minsan?
Actually, sir, I only focus on one trade per session. So, yeah,
Okay. Okay.
I don't do hedge. That's why.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, nakikita ko ito sa chat. Dami na day trade. Okay.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah. Ayan si Sir Jongsky, yung ibang other community members natin dito. Focus on your AM for Nasdaq and ES.
Yeah. Okay. Hmm. So anyways, why do we day trade? Why do I day trade? Why do most futures traders day trade? Well, first of all, they don't. If you want to get a good intraday margin, day trade they offer a less margin or cost of margin when you day trade, what they call intraday rate. When you trade with the prop firm, the prop firm pays all that. So you wala kang kailangan unless you want to open your own funded account, which most of you do on forex, right? But when we trade on a prop firm, they pay all that. The only thing they want you to do is just trade and be able to manage your risk. That's the most important thing about prop firms. Okay, why do we day trade futures? Well, we see our profits in a daily basis, but usually we see it in less than 1 or 2 hours. Tapos na kami. That's why I always tell most of the traders who either have a full-time job, you can do this easily sa New York session because that's the most volatile. And you can do it within 1 hour. May kita ka na. I always tell them, depending on the size ng evaluation nila, it depends on how many contracts they trade. So you can easily make between $100 to minsan $1,000 within 1 hour, depending anong instrument ginagamit mo and how many contracts you trade. Like for example, I had a trade where I made 3,000 in less than 5 minutes. Kasi I was scaling in with contracts, but I made 3,000 in less than in 3 minutes. I mean, where can you make that time of money? Mas lalo pa sa States, hindi pwede. Dito lang sa trading, right? So again, when we day trade some futures, we're done within 1 or 2 hours. That's why most of my traders, they either have a full-time job and this is their complementary, yung kita nila. They don't have to spend another 4 or 8 hours to make money. They can just do it within 1 or 2 hours. What else? So what do we mean by funded day trading? So basically it refers to trading model. I'm sure you know all of them because there's a lot of prop firms in the forex space. So we also have the prop firm in the futures space where we give the prop firm gives you the money to trade, and it allows you to leverage more of, let's say, you can trade more contracts, so you can make more money. So like it says here, futures traders receive capital from prop firms, right? Or funding provided to trade financial instruments such as stocks, futures, or forex. In this arrangement, retail futures traders are required to pass an evaluation, and I see those evaluations also in forex, on the forex prop firms, whereby certain performance targets and risk management criteria are met to be able to access a larger amount of capital. which would in turn potentially earn share profits. I mean, bigger profits than if you just traded your account or your own money. It allows traders to have leverage capital beyond their own resources. For example, if I wanted to open an account with my own funds, I would need a good amount. You would start with, especially trading micros, would be probably 5,000 US dollars. Hindi yung 1,000 kasi susunog ka yun kaagad. So you need to at least have 5,000 US dollars to trade micros, not even the mini, just the micros. That's why I trade with Apex, because they provide me with that leverage. Why choose trader funding? First of all, like it says here, not have enough funds to trade enough, or enough funds to trade the size you want. Nervous about risking your own money, right? Random news volatility, where minsan you have this one where the wick, you get whiplash. I mean, there's such a, what we call, I don't consider it whiplash, it's like a wicklash. I mean, all of a sudden you see this wick, knocks you out, sunog, di ba? Depending on saan ng stop mo. So sometimes random news and volatility, you may get stopped out, you might as well lose, the cost of that evaluation or the cost of that funded account. It's better than losing your own money. The margin requirements, like I said, if you open a live account, you need to adhere to the margin requirements. When you trade with a prop firm, they pay for the margin requirements. Hindi ikaw. Hindi sa trader. Peace of mind and better mental focus, not having to fund and risk your heart. Exactly. You're not losing your own money. You're not losing your money. Most top traders, institutional traders, and hedge firms don't trade their own money, right? It's trading other people's money. They're not trading their own money. So leverage from 4 to 35 contracts per account for as little as $25 to $100 based on account size and ongoing promotion. Again, you can get to trade 20 with Apex. You can trade 20 accounts. You'll see what happens with that. Why we trade that, to basically offset our mitigate what we call offset our risk. It says you trade multiple accounts. Like I said, there are up to 20 accounts with Apex, and I think Apex is only features proper that offers that you can trade as many as 20 contracts or 20 fund accounts, 20 accounts. Mga iba wala. Minsan 5.
Yes po.
3, you know.
5 lang, sir. 5 lang sa iba.
Yeah.
Only Apex for na 20.
Yep, 20. Yep. So with that said, here's some testimonials that people have been funded, and again, there's a lot who are getting funded. This is Karen. She's been funded, but her withdrawals right now is like 12,500 per month. I mean, okay na yun. But she's now in Canada, but she's there for long. I think this is her. Tapos na 1 year vacation, because she also trades up there. I go, babalik ka ba dito or ano? Sigurado andyan. No, I'm going back to the Philippines. Ayaw niya yung lamig sa Canada. Again, there's some of her payouts, 27 feet, but now she's getting payouts of at least 12,500 a month. These are the people who've got funded accounts and so forth. Again, Karen there with her payout amount. There's 12,000. That's what she's getting. Now here's a testimonial from Karen. So I can play this. Can you guys hear? Can you guys hear? Yung ano? Kasi I have the volume all the way up. Okay, you guys can hear. Go ahead. Play ko na.
To share my backstory, got laid off from my job. It was devastating. It's depressing. I had a huge debt. My bills are piling up. I was completely broke to the point that I had to meet the calls from my credit card collectors. So I started getting demand letters from them. Now, too much pressure to find another job, but hey, I still have day trading left. But the thing is, I wasn't profitable. I wasn't consistently profitable. So, I guess when you're at your rock bottom, when you're at your lowest point in life, you do whatever it takes to make it work. And I only had day trading at that time. So I was so focused. I did, I worked hard to make it work. And the problem for me at that time is I didn't have the discipline. I can make great profits with the market, but I can't keep the profit. So that's the problem. So I had to work on the discipline part and build good trading habits in the markets. And by God's grace, April of last year, it finally clicked. So since April, I have been consistently filing and getting approved payouts every 10 days, like already making it my regular trading salary. So I started small, only from having 2,000 to 4,000 every request until my recent approved uncapped payout of 14,000 each account last month. Just today, I received another payout, and imagine in 3 days, I will be filing another payout. So this time around, we can potentially file three payouts in a month because we can now file every 8 trading days, right? So yes, it's possible to get a regular salary from from trading, but of course we have to follow the rules because I've also had my multiple denials, and but by fixing the errors, Apex is fair. You'll surely get approved next time as long as you show them that you fix the trading um, errors. So while I'm not a heavy hitter yet, I am just so grateful for this opportunity that now my monthly income is twice my annual salary before, and my all my debts have been fully paid off, and most importantly, my family's needs are well provided. So I'm a living testimony that we can consistently make this a regular source of income. And thank you, Apex, for making this possible and for changing people's lives worldwide. You're awesome. Thank you.
So this is her name is Ruby Lee. Now Ruby Lee, she's a single mom that she lives in Pampanga. But about Ruby Lee, she's been the top 10 uh, trader who's been getting global. She's been getting payouts. Uh, Her payouts are so big that she's in the top 10 uh, global payouts of Apex. So since November, like I said, she started in November where she was either within the top 10 payouts of Apex. So since November, total payout she's received this last month, she received 109,000 US dollars. And the previous month, she also did the same amount. But right now, as of April of this last month, her total payouts have accumulated up to over 600,000 US dollars. 600,000. Malapit na siya millionaire sa Apex just trading, just getting her monthly withdrawals. So this is her testimony.
traders. My name is Lily. I'm from the Philippines. I'm so excited to share with you guys my latest payout of $207,000, which Apex Trader Funding approved within less than 12 hours. But it wasn't perfect, as you think. I know you're thinking. Like many traders, I also struggled a lot. I feel like I'm in a cycle of continuous blowing evaluation accounts and even worse, the account. It's just I never give up. I keep studying and continuously hard work, sleepless days and nights. And so navigating life a single mom slash office accountant with a tight salary, life feels like a constant struggle to keep afloat on sport. I even had time wherein I needed to take out some loan to fund my trading career at the same time to get afforded things, especially my son's tuition and family here locate. Until the time I made a big decision, I left my job and full time trading with a because I like to focus. I see that the opportunity is clear, believing that this is the best path moving forward. Having the goal of giving my son the best possibly I can give. And Apex, I never doubt. Apex rules have helped me stay on track. I remember my first payout request was denied. I I broke a rule and I adjusted. I built a trading system that works for me. I learned the key levels, the importance of significance of those key levels, indicators, risk management. I stayed disciplined. That's the most important thing. During losing days, I refused losing trades and came back stronger. That's my big attitude. Now I just enrolled my son to the best school and secured a comfortable home because we were like renting for years. All that was paid at the same time. I got a brand new Suzuki Dream and have remained for Apex payout top 10 for consecutive months now. And I still aim to continuously doing that. I know you guys out there, the journey is trust me, it's worth it though. I think find a system, a trading system that works best for you. Get comfortable with it. There are many out there, and with trust, with Apex, nothing is impossible. Again, a huge thank you to Apex Fair Funding. Thank you so much for changing lives.
So those are payouts right there. November, that's when she began. Look at that, top 10. This is global, not Filipinas, global. December, there's her January. Look at her payouts, top 10. February, that's her biggest one right there, is 207,000. March, I don't think, yeah, they don't have it here. So, anyways, these are all the payouts that you see there. Now, again, some more payouts there. Mga ano, about maybe 300, not payouts, but mga um, funded accounts na. So again, those are all those people. Now, what's here? The current month now for this one, April. This was just last month. Dumadami na mga traders na they're receiving payouts. Kita mo, number one, lagi naman si Ruby Lee. This was just in April, right? She received 109,000 US dollars. Next is Anton, 19,000. Tyrone, he's basically in kilala mo yun, di ba? Kilala mo yun sa ano, Carlos? Kasi taga Pampanga din yan.
Yes po. Yeah, actually he will join on our next sessions. So watch out.
Yeah, good. Yeah. He's already withdrawn 13,000 from Apex. So lahat ito, dumadami na. So the total monthly payout is 199,000. But you can see more traders are able to withdraw. Okay? Other than that, that's what that's the question. Yun lang. May questions ba? I think that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Let's make sure. Let me see here. Ano nakikita mo? Okay, so that's it.
Hello everyone, may mga
Any
questions
questions?
ba?
Let
Yeah.
me stop. And si Carlos here, uh, he, he's trading also futures. In fact, and you can actually use the same strategy that you trade in forex to trade futures as well.
Yep, that's right po. Actually, I do have a funded account before from Apex, but unluckily, I breached that account. So, yeah, that ganun
Mm.
talaga yung trading. We don't always win. We just need
Tama.
to risk manage lagi.
Yeah.
So, as long as you followed your rules, no problem with that. So, now, I'm going back na rin sa futures. If you could see my latest posting then, I am trading at Apex now. So, by the way, sa ano, just to share lang for all, for me, I started trading sa crypto and then sa forex, nag-switch ako. So, ang nangyari is I'm trading my own capital pero hindi ako naging successful during that time. So I switched and I discovered yung prop firm which is yung forex. And now, ang nangyari naman doon is super ng rules, parang super luwag for me ng rules sa forex. And then if makikita mo, mas marami din talaga yung mga gamblers na traders sa forex. So futures yung Apex. Actually, meron pang other futures prop firms. But then, dito sa futures, doon na ako parang mas na-control yung psychology ko and emotions. Because yung mga rules na nakaset, actually, it helps the trader to become more consistent and become more disciplined. So, ayun. I think if kaya nyo namang mag-trade ng forex prop firms, why not try yung futures, right? And dito yung I think pinaka-advantage na nakikita ko sa futures is mas maganda talaga yung trading conditions natin sa futures, which is una yung sa spreads, almost zero to no spread talaga yung natin sa futures. Sa forex kasi pag enter mo pa lang, ang laki na nung commission fees na binabayaran natin or yung spreads, right? And then ayun, discuss natin yung mga rules maybe on our next session para hindi ganun kahaba yung session natin for tonight. And then, if meron kayong questions, please let us know. Like, kahit dun sa mga rules na alam nyo na but you're not that quite sure pa or clear, please let us know sa chat box. Oh, by the way, wala akong yung gamit ko na device right now is walang camera. Sige, next time, sa next session natin, mag-open cam ako. I'm using my Mac Mini kasi
So,
wala akong
lahat ng
Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
lahat ng sinasabi mo, lahat ng sinasabi mo, Sir Carlos, totoo. Kasi like I said, I traded Forex before for 3 years. And I was trading Forex kasi I had a job and I want to have a part-time income. Pero when I found out, every time I traded Forex, I'd make money, then eventually give it back. Walang kita. So, I said, and since minsan, I go, parang nakikita yung broker yung mga entries ko. Parang, paano yan may stock ko andun sa taas, pero nag-stock out pa ako. So, that's one of my the mentor who I started trading futures was also a forex trader. Sinabi sa akin, wait, bro, you want something more easy to trade where you don't have to worry about what the broker is doing? Go to futures. Kasi there's no broker manipulation there. It's all in an exchange. Just like dito sa Philippine Stock Exchange. Walang manipulation. Dito lang sa Philippine Stock Exchange, ano meron dito? Insider trading, yun lang. Pero, when it comes to futures, everything is like, it's like a level playing field. Tama? It's like you're trading the same market conditions as you are as the hedge funds, as the banks. So, It's basically level playing field. Um, ano ba sasabihin ko pa? Other than that, that's why I enjoy trading futures. And most of these people who are trading futures now, they came from the forex. They were trading forex, naglugi sila. Some of them came from crypto. Karen, she lost over $3 million, 3 million pesos trading. She was trading, I think it was crypto. And when she didn't want to do that anymore, she said she started trading futures, and that's where she was able to make money. Katulad wala dito. My Leia, she's one of my coaches also. She's one of the traders in Apex that she nalugi din siya sa crypto. So dami ako kilala na nalugi sa crypto. So with the futures dito sa Pilipinas is parang yun ang crypto ngayon kasi bago. So si Sir Carlos is one of the few to say traders and also educators that know how to trade. And I want him. That's why si Carlos, I like him because I'll be doing some events with him and also other influencers in the forex industry. They want to pivot to futures now. I said you don't have to stop trading forex if you feel comfortable trading forex. Okay lang. But if you want to diversify your portfolio, try futures. Because eventually you can, like I said, sinabi ko kanina, that you can hedge. You can have one position in your forex or CFD and another positions of futures.
Right po. By the way, sir, meron tayong questions dito. Like, merong nagtanong si Aero, paano daw nade-deny ang payouts for Apex?
Okay, for example, consistency. There's a 30% rule where one trade cannot be where you lose 30% of your balance. Let's say your balance is like in profit. Let's say your 25K account evaluation, or your not evaluation, 25K funded account. Yung balance mo ngayon is up to, let's say, 25,000. So bale, yung kita mo is $5,000. You can't lose more than 30% of that in one trade. So sometimes minsan there's a lot of gambling traders with a gambling mindset there. So they think it's gonna give, bababa, may drawdown, pero it exceeds 30%, then they won't expose your account, but if you put in a request for a payout, they will deny you because of that. So when you get denied for payout, that doesn't mean that they closed your account. It means that the next 8 days, kung na-improve mo yon, hindi mo ginagawa na naman, yon, the next request, that's 8 trading days, pwede ka mag-request ulit, and they'll probably approve your request. Hopefully I answered your question.
Thank you for that, sir.
So there's a lot
Yeah.
of there's a lot of it's about how to manage your risk. So basically that's what it is.
Yeah, and we also have this 30% consistency rule for funded account. Actually, this doesn't apply for a evaluation. It only applies for a funded or PA account for Apex. So, ito yung mga example computations natin for 30% consistency. So, ayan, talagang kailangan yung mga trades natin is consistent and hindi tayo like one time, big time, nagte-trade like gambling style na. So, which is hindi ko rin tinuturo sa mga current student ko. So, what we teach here is how to become consistent, profitable. Small profits actually nagko-compound yan. So, you have to focus on that. Kasi marami akong na-experience din before. Nag-try akong like mag-trade ng all-in. Lumaki yung ko before sa crypto. Lumaki yung fund ko. And then, in one day, nasunog as in lahat. Super laki nang nawala ko na that time. So, yeah, based on that experience, ayokong may experience ng iba. Hopefully, not. So, ayun. Dito sa prop firm, yan. Halos halos wala naman tayong risk sa natin sa own capital. Kasi merong question dito, sir. Tinatanong niya, kailangan ba ng may ilabas na pera sa funded account? Meron, yes. Pero yung lang yon, mura lang yon, yung challenge account. And then, if you're going to get funded na, of course, okay lang naman bayaran yon kasi funded account and you can easily get back yung profit pag magpe-pay out ka na. So, right now, we have an 80% promo for Apex Trader Funding. So, yung around, magkano yun, sir? Yung as of na price ng 50K account? I think 147? Around, let me
Bali,
double check.
50K is, so bali, no, yung
Let me check.
50K, the 80% off is $33.
Ah, yeah.
Or,
Right.
ano yung sa pesos? Ano yung sa pesos? Wait, na yan.
5, 10, 15. Around less than 2,000 pesos.
Yeah, less than 2,000, 1.8.
Yeah.
Yun lang. Yung 25K is I think 20, either 29,
80%.
so,
So,
it's around 1.6. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, ito yung website natin for Apex Trader Funding. Ito yung nakikita nyo as of now na price, pero usually meron naman tayong mga sale. Ito is for challenge account only, okay? And ayun, di-discuss natin on our next session paano yung mga payment plans for Apex Trader Funding na firm. So, yeah. By the way, nagkakaroon din ng right sir, 90% flash sale usually before ng high impact news. Yun yung napansin ko kaya so abang-abang tayo. Mag-a-announce din naman ako, and then si Sir Dom, binibigyan din ako ng ng parang notification if we're going to have some 90%. Yeah.
Heads up. Oh, okay. Tama. It's usually a flash, yung bali ilang oras or minsan 2 oras lang, you know.
Mhm.
Ano pa, there's a may question dito. Let me see here. About going to straight funded account. I think I saw that.
Yes po, instant funding for Apex. Do we have that?
May malapit na, they're right now they're getting ready for that. They have one of the leaders of Apex is also already now in Washington D.C. discussing that with the regulators. So malapit na. Mga iba, they do have diretso to mga ibang prop firm. They do have that, pero it's medyo how can I say this? Kasi hindi mo alam if because I saw some of the traders who were doing that medyo mahal. Some of them you have to pay $500
Yes,
to get
correct
to
po.
a under the account. Mahal yun.
Yeah. I think better pa rin tayo doon sa challenge account sa current plans ni Apex. Merong question dito, sir. More on futures to be traded. Actually, bro, na-discuss to earlier. Meron tayong currency futures. Meron din gold. Si Pards kasi yan gold trader. So, you can trade gold futures naman if you're a gold trader. Yeah.
Yep. May gold. May gold futures meron. Ang dami din nagde-trade ng gold.
Correct po. And then here, may question po. One phase lang po ba yung evaluation?
No, bali here, I'm gonna tell you one evaluation. There's a video that Ruby Lee and I passed a lot of my evaluation in one trading. Minsan, within 30 minutes I passed it. See Ruby Lee, she did it. I think she has a video now on YouTube. She passed in less than 30 minutes. Pasado. So now with Apex, you can pass the test in one trading day. Na kailangan ilang araw.
Okay. And then, sir, I think wala sa question dito kasi meron nagtatanong if monthly yung payment for funding for Apex. And then, ayun, for challenge and funded, different. Sir Dom will answer that.
Okay. So for the challenge, what you call challenge or what we call evaluation, basically it's a monthly payment, but most of the traders who do the evaluation, pasado na sila within 1 month. So bali isang bayad lang, right? Kasi most of the traders, they pass the evaluation within 1 month. That's just one payment. So that's usually what it is. I've never seen any of my traders go more than 1 month. Now, here's the question. If you blow the account, let's say you don't pass the challenge or you don't pass the evaluation, you get a free reset after the 30 days, right? Or you can pay for the reset. Let's say you blow your evaluation. So you have two options. Either pay the reset, which is right now, I think it's $50, 50. And if you don't want to do that, then you wait for the 30 days for your subscription to expire. Then renew it for another 30 days. They will reset your account again for free. Walang bayad. Pero you have a clean account na naman. Then you would pay that subscription, the same amount that you paid. For example, you had 80% off. Your subscription, your renewal would be also 80% off. Let's say you bought it for 90% off. You pay 90% at your renewal for the lifetime until you pass that evaluation. Okay? Nagets mo yun. So if you don't pass the evaluation and you continue, let's say you fail, you can either reset it or you wait for that evaluation to expire and then renew it again at the same price you bought it at, and then bago na naman you try the evaluation again. In terms of the funded account or the what we call the performance account or the PA, two options that you can pay: either a monthly fee of $85 kahit anong size ng funded account mo. It can be either 25,000 or 300,000 US dollars. It's only one payment. So that payment can be either $85 per month or a one-time payment of ngayon I think it's 130 tumaas $130
Yeah, 130.
for all any type of account. Yeah.
Ayun, clear tayo doon like
So yun.
for challenge, you have to pay for the monthly. Pero usually, hindi naman natin need abutin yung 1 month. And then, for activation fee, you're just going to have to pay 130 USD para dun sa funded. Right po, sir. And now,
Yeah, tama.
saan pa yung mga questions natin? May questions pa po ba kayo? Maliban dun sa tax kasi...
Chichonki said,
Meron kasi nagtatanong about sa ano, sir?
their safety.
Sa tax.
Tax.
We cannot
Okay,
answer.
Ito.
Okay.
Yeah, I can answer that.
Okay po.
Kasi we one time we had in our event a tax lawyers dito sa Pilipinas, and she's also a trader ng futures. So there was a student who asked, or a prospect, one of the attendees of the event, said, paano yung tax sa futures? Kasi nakikita niya mga withdrawals, wow, laki mga withdrawals. Paano na tax ng Philippine government? So honestly, the amount I'm withdrawing and also mga ibang trader dito sa Pilipinas, walang tax. Kasi first of all, the BIR doesn't know how to enforce that tax. Kasi it's not stocks. Hindi dito galing sa Philippine Stock Exchange, coming from the US. They don't know. In fact, the lawyer even answered, we don't know how to enforce that. So what I do when I'm in kita ko, I just, and I'm gonna tell you the truth here, I donate. You can say donation. I just donate a certain amount to the BIR. They don't buy it, whatever. Let's say 15%. Pero no, they don't know how to enforce it. Just like in forex, if yung kita mo yung malaki, they don't know how to tax that. Even sabi ng lawyer. Even though they consider forex as illegal and may kita kayo, they don't know how to tax it. Wala. So that's the answer. Bale, yung kita mo, wala. Si Ruby Lee, mga banko, sometimes she has hard time, well, as long as she has the contract, they show it. Like for example, she got that last 2 months ago, she had a $207,000 deposit.
Yun, sir, paano yun? Yung kay Robilia, super laki ng ano niya ng payout niya.
Okay, so anong nangyari sa akin? Kasi siya nag-text sa akin, sir, nang nag-deny yung deposit. I go, okay, so they're asking for documents, yung contract. Kasi yung bank managers doon, walang alam anong futures. I go, saan galing to? So they're thinking that parang maka money laundering ito. So when they found the contract that Apex will send a contract and they ought to also send the receipt of the wire that they sent. Once the bank manager saw that, na-approve. Pero afterwards, she got the payout, mga bank empleyado, sinabi kay Ruby Lee, ma'am, paano ang ginagawa? Pwede ko maturo? Can we do the same thing that you're doing? Paano yan?
Na curious na rin sila, sir. Yeah.
Not curious na sila
Ah.
kasi ano nila mo ng futures. Kasi nakikita nila yung bank account niya, sobrang dami. Every month, more than $100,000. That's why inisip nila, ano to, money laundering. But then once they found out the contracts, then you signed, that Ruby Lee signs with the PA, that contract there, and also the receipt from Apex. That's
Nice.
what Apex sent to the bank, and they said, okay.
Good thing, sir, kasi meron tayong contract with Apex. So, guys, ayun, malaking bagay yon. Kasi meron tayong actually contract signing before tayo maging funded. Yeah. During activation. And by the way, to answer again yung isang question dito, tinatanong kasi ulit, sir, if after nung challenge, may bayad ba? Yung pagiging funded, yes, we need to activate yung funded account, $130, any account size naman yon.
Sa ibang prop firm, like yung mga ibang prop firm, may ibang fees sila sa depending on the size of your contract. Diba?
Just to add din po, right now, if titignan nyo yung trading view nyo for CME charts, delayed yan. Pag naging funded kayo or kahit sa Apex, free na yung natin, live market data natin. So you don't have to subscribe. Alam ko, nasa around $10 per month din yan. So, instead of paying for that, you can just get a challenge from Apex. So, parang free na yung challenge natin. Ang mura lang ng challenge for Apex. So, ayun, may chance ka pang maging funded. Why not do that, right? Any other questions po? Siguro last 2 questions para hindi na masyado matagal yung session natin for tonight. Last 2 questions. And then after i-draw na natin yung yung giveaway sponsored by Apex from Sir Dom din yung mga yon natin. Mga pag-giveaway account, challenge accounts.
Yes. And you know what? If you're gonna do a challenge account, trade the strategy that Sir Carlos is teaching you. Mga ICT traders kayo, di ba?
Yes po, majority here are ICT traders. So yeah. That's why I'm also inviting Iron in our next sessions. He is an ICT trader, so maybe you guys can relate with him.
Yeah. Oh, do you know Jade, what's his name? Jade,
Jade Cup, yeah. He is an ICT trader, yeah. US trader.
Yeah. And he's the one who drew $2.5 million.
Yun yung grabe. $2.5 million US dollars.
From Apex.
So, ayan, ganun
Hindi
kalaki yung...
Filipino siya.
Hindi, parang, basta Asian po siya, sir. Hindi ko sure anong niya eh.
Asian, yeah. Pero taga-US, hindi dito. Taga-US.
Actually, nag-switch yun from Forex dahil sa regulation ng Forex sa US. So, napa-futures talaga siya. Oo, I think Chinese nga ata si Jade Cup.
Oh, okay. Chinese American, yeah, tama. Yeah.
Any other questions, guys?
Okay,
Raffle na ba?
yun.
Opo, yan na siguro yun, sir. So, sige, share screen ko na yung natin for our...
I have to leave. I have another meeting.
Okay, sir.
at 8, so, okay lang?
Okay lang po. Thank you so much sa session natin, sir. So, guys, wait lang
Thank
I-draw
you
na
for the
natin.
invite.
Thank you so much. Thank you sa time mo, sir.
So, so anytime you want to include me in your thing as an information resource,
Mhm.
I'm happy to join your webinar.
Okay po. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Mag-draw na tayo, no? Total of 90 responses here. Pero hindi lahat nandito kasi nasa around 39 lang yung nag-join. So, if wala ka dito sa Discord and wala ka rin dito sa Docs, Google Docs natin, kailangan nandito ka. Ayan. Para sa mga mag-claim here. Bakit 71 lang max? Ilan ba yung maximum dito? Wait lang ah. 70, refresh ko siguro. Good luck. Dalawa yung i-draw natin for tonight. Mag-base na lang tayo sa email. Wait, ulitin natin. Hindi ko sure bakit 71 lang yung lumilitaw, pero baka meron kasing ano eh. Kanina nag-try akong mag-draw. Si Jongski yung nanalo. So, sorry na lang if hindi na ikaw ngayon. Refresh natin. Oh, bakit kaya? Bakit? Paano ba i-clear to? Alam nyo ba? Or gamit na lang tayo ng ano? Ibang wheel. Ayaw lumitaw nung other eh. Ito na lang siguro. Wala, iba to. Possible nag-ulit yung email, no? Right? Correct. Last na lang, hanap tayo ng iba. Okay. Okay. Kaya siguro 71 lang talaga. Baka meron lang nag-ulit na emails. Tama. Okay, start na natin. Start ko na. Ready na ba kayo? Okay, yung first winner natin is si... Ayan, wait lang natin. Ba't di siya gumagalaw? Kita nyo ba sa screen? Oh, kita naman, no? Kailangan bang spin to? Paano to? Ayun. Ayun pala. Sorry. Dapat nandito sa Discord, Ayun. guanzontroy15@gmail.com. Sino yan? I-ano ko lang. Screenshot. Absent? Wala? Ay, naku, sayang naman. Wala? Andun daw. Ayun, congrats sa'yo, bro. Sige, pa-DM ako sa Facebook, no? Para yung proof na ikaw yan sa email mo. And then, ayun, basta proof lang na ikaw tong Guanzon Troy. So, next winner, congrats. Kinabahan akala niya, hindi ma-invalidate na, okay? Okay, next. Draw na natin yung next winner natin. Good luck. Yes, free challenge to. Dennis Palencia. Nandito ba to? Wala pa, bro. Na-absent mo agad eh. Sige, bigyan natin ng 20 seconds para mag-claim. Nagbilang na kayo. Yun, mukhang wala Sige. Bigyan pa natin ng chance. Sige, magbilang kayo ng 20. Type nyo. Wala, no? Sige, bilang muna kayo hanggang mag-0. 20 to Bigyan natin ng chance. Ang malas naman yan kung sira yung keyboard niya. Tapos nandito pala. Ziniro na ni ano? Ziniro na ni Pards. Okay, sige, next na. Sorry kay Dennis Palencia 01. Okay. Okay. Okay, draw na natin yung ano, invalid na to sa next winner na. Wala pa bro, baka ikaw yan, in-absent mo. Cyber Axis 21. Dito ba to? Sino yan? Bigyan ulit natin ng ano. Ayun, present daw. Yung Ed. Ayun. Sige, bro Ed, DM mo ako. Pakita mo lang yung ano, proof na ikaw yan. Yung, kahit yung sa Gmail siguro na ikaw yan. Para lang ano. Or email mo ko, isend ko sa inyo. Absent daw. So, ayun lang. Sa ano, may next session pa tayo. Isabihin ko na lang yung date. So, if registered ka na, kasali ka pa rin dun sa next na... Meron pa rin tayong giveaway. Every month, meron tayong 5 giveaway account. So, right now, medyo napadami yung nabigay ni Sir Dom. So, at a total of 8 accounts pa yung ipapag-giveaway ko. Join lang kayo lagi. Yun, sayang din yun. Kasi as of now, 80%. So, around $30+ yung isang account. Sayang din yun, di ba? Ayun, join pa kayo sa next session. Yung magiging discussion natin for our next session. Medyo napatagal pala kasi yung basic natin for intro. Bibigyan ko kayo ng pahapyaw pa ulit sa ano, ng mas basic explanation siguro ng intro. And then, sa next session natin is yung rules. Invite ko ulit si Sir Dom and maybe si Iron. I-invite ko rin siya. Nakausap ko na rin siya. He will join us. Siguro isa-share niya konti yung the way he trades. And then, yung risk management. Ayun, join lang kayo. Magpapag-giveaway tayo ng account. Ayun lang. Thank you for joining and ayun, abang lang din sa Facebook account ko mag-a-announce ako. Okay? Sa mga groups natin. Dito sa Discord, sana maging active na rin kayo. And, ayun, sharing lang. Sharing lang tayo dito. Free naman yung mga knowledge sharing natin dito. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time, everyone. And bye-bye. Bye-bye na.